Hey guys, I'm Keith Hobart. Welcome to Just Be Lucid. I'm here with George Brookhart. Got a great, incredible story to tell. On his travels to New York, I gotta say, when one person makes some determination and really wants to make a difference in what they see around them and the world that they live in, it's all it really takes. And I think George demonstrates some of that, and we're gonna hear it in his story. So George, I'm gonna just let you unload it, man. What brought you here today?
Yeah, so we were in New York on a trip, business trip, and we went about a week after 9/11, and we went to Ground Zero. We were there to buy and sell for our company called Shipping Only. We went to Ground Zero.
What were you buying and selling?
We were buying and selling. We were buying novelty items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing from Ground Zero, right? You were like they're scavenging, or okay.
No.
I'm just making sure.
So when we got there, we made it a point to cut across town and see the zone. And when we got there, I mean, it was absolutely amazing, devastation, destruction. But what I noticed is around the perimeter of Ground Zero, people had tables set up and they were selling goods. So they were profiting off this tragedy.
So they were doing what I just totally accused you of.
Horrible.
Right? Yeah.
Well, our goal, we didn't, at the time, the idea, we didn't even think of it. We were bothered by it and we left. Well, when we were back at the office, we were having a product development meeting and we started thinking about 9/11 and what could we do to make a difference because of what we'd seen at Ground Zero. And there was a watch laying on the table that we had purchased overseas, and we were kind of looking at it, and I got the idea that we could come up with a commemorative watch where the inner dials are all stopped where the towers were hit in the Pentagon. The date is locked on 9/11, and the main clock continues. Time continues. And so we started working on this project. We got it designed, got it developed, and we were with this. We gave one to the president. He got one. Pataki, Giuliani, they got one. We received letters back, and we raised over $250,000 for Kids Foundation.
Wow!
From the sales.
So I got to ask you, man. Here you are in probably one of the most vicious, devastating attacks on American soil ever. Mm-hmm. It's now 15 years later. This is still a story that's on top of your mind.
Right.
It obviously made a huge impact for you.
Right.
How do you go about making sure that you capture a memorial piece of such a huge tragedy? Mm-hmm. How do you're standing there, you're looking at all this stuff. Mm-hmm. How do you go into that and say, let's make a watch? Like, how does that come out?
I don't know, honestly. It was just, we had a desire to do something different, and we did get a lot of flack for it because people thought we were also trying to do the same, which our company took none of the profits. We basically moved them at wholesale. But it was just a group of guys who wanted to do something nice that had the ability to do product design, and we thought a commemorative piece would be a good way to show respect. And there was a lot of symbolism with the piece too. I mean, the color of the watch was white, country built on purity, and we had "In God We Trust" on the bezel, and the colors we chose for the dials were black for the morn, and the arms of the clocks were red. So there was a lot of thought, a lot of care that went into the product. And then we made it public that we didn't make profit off. It was all for the Kids for Kids and to cover our cost of production. So I really don't know. I mean, I think it was a group effort, and it was just there's no one real reason why. Yeah.
What goes through your head trying to relate all of that stuff? I mean, what are you thinking about when you're standing there looking at Twin Towers in shambles?
There's no words to describe it. I mean, we went up to the church right around the corner, and we were looking at the wall, and they had all the the people and the kids that written about their parents. There were candles, and we're standing there, and we're just speechless. And these firemen come out of the chapel. I mean, it was a picture perfect moment. They were just covered in the gray soot.
Yeah.
Had the helmets in their hands. They looked exhausted. And this is like a week later. And I tell you, you just start to really think about what really matters. And
sort of makes your world feel real small, doesn't it?
Yes. And everybody seems to really connect. Like, everybody has something to relate. We can all relate to one another in those moments when, that happens.
Yeah.
It's like on a tragic level.
So how long were you guys in New York for the whole trip?
Usually about 2 weeks, I think.
So how much time was spent not doing work and working on the project?
We didn't start the project until we got back.
Okay.
Yeah, but when we got back, I mean, I personally dedicated with another designer probably 2 months just in the design phase of that product.
Yeah.
And literally we flew overseas to have it produced, you know,
Yeah.
at a cost.
So
There's a lot of investment that we put into that.
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, and just the emotional investment itself, I would think, could sort of wreck you for a little while, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot to take on.
Yeah, I mean, it was exciting, and it was something really, really sensitive. Like, we had to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't something you bragged about. Aha, we're doing a watch for 9/11. The towers came down. Look what we're doing. It was nothing like that. We had to be humble about it.
And it would almost seem to me, it's like, not only did you have to be careful, but like you had to be, like, you couldn't make a mistake. This wasn't, oh, we were being careful, but we accidentally slipped up and we just pissed off 900 million Americans
Right.
after they've had their country devastated, right?
Mhm.
So you had to be flawless.
Right, and we were also very careful how we marketed the piece because it was the whole thing was to raise money for the Kids for Kids Foundation. If they lost one or both parents, they were part of that fund.
Right.
So we had to be real careful about that, and we did get some flack. You know, we got a lot of letters and a lot of emails that came in, and we had a really good department set up to kind of handle that. And
Didn't have to change your address or your phone number, or anything, did you? All right.
No.
How many units did you guys end up selling?
It was thousands. I don't know the exact number, but it was enough to cover our costs and raise about $250,000 for Kids for Kids. And it only ran for, we made, I want to say we made about 20,000 pieces, and I think by the end of 6 months we were sold out.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So you continuing to do work with this organization in any way over the last few years, or
No, we.
this guy's got you working too hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you know, again, working for a company with heart, Lucid has heart. We really care about small businesses and medium-sized businesses, so I feel good about being there because I'm with a team that really wants to see businesses succeed, and that's the kind of company I want to work for. You know.
So it seems like if you got a story to tell,
Yeah.
and you can tell it, and you're out there helping other people tell their stories,
Right.
probably a good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good way to spend your quarter of your life.
Yeah.
If you're going to work somewhere, work with a team that has heart.
Yeah, right?
You know what I
Cool.
mean?
Well, I want to thank you for coming by
Yeah,
today,
right
man.
on.
I really appreciate it. Guys, this has been Just Be Lucid. You can find us at wewillmakeyoubsolutelyfamous.com. Don't call this guy. Have a great day.